Hi everyone, welcome to session 4 in your workbook, which is nutrition. Before we would begin, because this would be an in-person class, before we would begin, we would go over the action plans, everyone's action plans for the last 2 sessions, celebrate successes, and then if anybody had any issues or questions or whatever it may be, we would go through those as a group, as a whole group. But since we can't do that, once again, I'm assuming everyone's doing okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to help. And then we also have our health diary. So as of right now, you should have been tracking your blood pressure readings every day in that health diary kind of log. And then after today, you'll be tracking your sodium intake and then also your fruits and vegetables serving intake. So you want to keep that in mind. So you'll do that for this whole upcoming week. And after this week, I will actually ask each of you to turn in that personal health diary if you could, if you don't mind. I would love to see it. Or I can also collect them after the workshop. So whatever's easiest, but we want to make sure we definitely are logging what needs to be logged. And I will try to remind each of you each session to do that. And then also right now is when I would go around and check everyone's blood pressures. So if you're able to do that, if you haven't done it yet, please check your blood pressures and document it. Make sure you put it in your log because that's what we'll be doing anyways. So let's begin. Like I said, today we are going to talk about nutrition. This is session 3 in your workbooks. And for today, of course, today's session, you'll need your workbooks and also this red Dash Diet cookbook, which we kind of talked about in the intro video. Let's see, so if you turn to page 2 in your workbooks, so these are the questions we'll be answering today. So let's see, what are the benefits of healthy eating? How do you make healthy food choices? How can food choices affect hypertension? What can you learn from a food label? What is the go, slow, and whoa plan? And then what is the DASH plan? So after this session, you should be able to answer each of those questions. And so I'm on my laptop again. I do realize it's a little grainy and I apologize, but I need to screen share a couple slides. I say a couple, but we actually have about 13, 14 slides for this session. So I do need to be able to screen share. And then also you will notice that I broke this session up. I think I'll break it up into at least 2 or 3 parts. It is a lengthier session. So I want to make sure I thought it might be easier if I break it up into 3 sessions. That way, maybe in like 12 to 15 minute increments, it might be a little easier to watch. So you will notice that. So I'm going to screen share right now. Bear with me. There we go. Like I said, this is session 3, nutrition. And then let's see. A healthy diet is very important for reducing the risk associated with high blood pressure. According to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, a healthy diet favors fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fat-free or low-fat milk, and then milk products. It includes lean meats, poultry, fish, beans, eggs, and nuts, and is low in saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, salt, and added sugars. I apologize for that notification if you heard that. I had a beep looks like something popped up on my schedule for my calendar. So if you heard that, I apologize. If you didn't, just disregard what I'm saying. If you turn to page 3 in your workbooks, it's titled Benefit of Healthy Eating, and you'll want to fill out this worksheet as I continue on. So you may wonder, what is happening? There we go. I apologize. You may wonder why good nutrition is important to lower the risk associated with hypertension. Eating poorly can raise a person's blood cholesterol level, which can lead to health issues. And eating too much sodium can have a large effect on blood pressure. Not only is healthy eating beneficial for overall health, but eating right also has many other benefits. It reduces the risk for hypertension, heart disease, stroke, some types of cancers, diabetes, osteoporosis, and then also it improves your energy, immune system, and appearance. People with poor nutrition are more likely to have a shorter lifespan, more sickness, higher chance of getting infections, injuries that take longer to heal, and hospital stays that are longer and cost more. In this session, we'll be learning what it means to have good nutrition and how to change your eating habits to be healthier and control hypertension. Good nutrition means getting the most bang for the calorie. Good nutrition is high nutrient, low fat, low trans fat, low cholesterol, low simple sugars, and low sodium. Healthy eating means getting a variety of foods every day, eating some foods more than others, and keeping a balance between how many calories we take in and how many calories we burn through activity. Right, so if you turn to page 4 in your workbooks and fill that page out as I continue on. So you want to add a variety to your diet by eating the recommended number of servings from each of the 5 food groups. Those 5 food groups are fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy products, meats, beans, and nuts. Aim to see as many colors as possible on your plate. You should eat a variety of foods every day because different foods have different nutrients, such as vitamins and minerals that your body needs. No single food can supply all nutrients in the amount you need. For example, oranges provide vitamin C, but not vitamin B12. Chicken provides B vitamins, but no vitamin C. And if you turn to page 5 in your workbooks, you can see how it's separated between the food groups and examples of food with each of those groups. So usually this is when we'd go around the table and we would discuss kind of foods that are in those food groups that aren't necessarily listed on this chart. But since we can't do that, maybe just do it on your own and see what you can come up with. It is important to eat a variety of foods, and it's especially important to eat several servings of fruits and vegetables each day. 1 serving is a half a cup. A diet includes fresh fruits and vegetables. A diet that includes fresh fruits and vegetables may reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other diseases. Fruits and vegetables provide the vitamins, minerals, and fiber that are important for good health. Most fruits and vegetables are naturally low in fat and calories. Fruits and vegetables and whole grains help your body by providing fiber, which helps with digestion and reduces colon cancer. Vitamins and minerals give your body the essential nutrients that it needs to function. And then also complex carbohydrates, it increases energy. Be careful when choosing whole grain products. This is one thing I didn't know until I took this workshop, so it's interesting. Many food items will be labeled whole wheat, 100% wheat, multigrain, or 7-grain, but are usually not 100% whole grain foods. Dairy products help your body by providing calcium, which makes bones stronger and healthier, vitamin D, which helps body take in calcium, helps calcium strengthen bones, and then protein. And that builds and stores muscles and tissues. And then also, when you're choosing dairy products, stick with those that are lower in fat, such as non-fat or 1%, rather than whole milk. If you can try, I know some people have a preference. Meats, poultry, fish, beans, and nuts all provide protein for your body. Protein is important because it builds and repairs tissue, muscles, skin, and blood. And once again, try to choose those lower fat options if possible. Eating foods in the right proportion will improve your health and help you live longer. You need to focus on eating foods. I apologize. I don't know why this is on a timer. Gosh, it keeps switching on its own. Eating foods in the right proportion will improve health and help you live longer. You need to focus on eating foods more often than others. So eat a small amount of foods that are high in fat, especially saturated fats, and a small amount of foods that are high in fat, sodium, and simple sugars. Eat a large amount of fruits and vegetables because they deliver the most bang of nutrients for the calorie as compared to other food groups. Go slow and whoa is a way of thinking about eating some foods more than others. Some foods, such as fruits and vegetables, are go foods. This means you can eat as much as you want of these foods. Some foods, the slow foods, you should eat in moderation or only now and then. Limiting the whoa foods as much as possible will help you avoid the fat, sugar, and sodium that creates many health problems. You turn to page 6 and 7 in your workbooks. This is when we generally would discuss the way foods are prepared, and then we'd kind of determine if they're go slow and whoa foods. Since we can't do that as a group, you can kind of just see the handouts, just kind of review the handouts and think of foods that may have been missed or foods that you prepare that kind of what category they would fit in. Not only what you eat is important, but how much you eat is just as important. This is why we want to focus on the portion sizes. A portion is the amount of food you choose to eat. One portion of food is often greater than one serving. Understanding the difference between serving size and portion size can help you learn how to eat the right amount of food. And then if you turn to page 8 and 9 in your workbooks, you can kind of see the serving sizes and how they're comparable to other kind of things that we are used to. So please review those. Once again, if we were in person, the whole class would have a discussion on these serving sizes and how it compares and what we think of them. But since we can't do that, just please do that on your own and at least review the handouts. In order to get your portion sizes smaller to an actual serve, so different ways. So how do you get your portion sizes similar to an actual serving size? So you have to take a good look at your dinner plate. Vegetables, fruits, and whole grains should take up the largest part of your plate. If they do not, please replace some of the meat, cheese, white pasta, or rice with your favorite vegetables. That's one way to kind of shift your plate and to be a little more healthier. This will lower the total calories in your meal without reducing the amount of foods you eat. Remember to use normal or small size plate. Some tips for getting portion sizes similar to a serving size is to avoid second helpings at meals. When at a restaurant, get a takeout container and save some of your food for another meal or at a later time. When you are at a restaurant, split a meal with a spouse or friend and then stop eating when you are full. You don't need to clean your plate, which I feel like some of us, that's hard even growing up because we weren't able to leave the table until we finish all the food on our plate. So I've definitely had to train myself to, if I'm full, I just need to stop and next time not take as much food and not put so much food on my plate so I'm not being wasteful. So it's definitely, there's a learning process to it. So fresh is best. Try to eat foods the way Mother Nature intended. Foods not in a package will give you larger serving sizes and a higher nutrients. If you eat something out of the package, be sure to double check what the serving size is so you know what you are eating. This is why it's important to understand how to read a food label. And this is when we will go into reading a food label. I am going to pause this for part 1 and I will pick up on how to read a food label at the second part of this session. All right. Thank you. I'll see you guys in a minute. Let me stop recording.